I'm Dr. Troost. If you've already seen the previous three segments, you already know me. And you know also that the book is called Apes or Angels, Darwin, Dover, Human Nature, and Race. And that this book is available from Amazon.com or apesorangels.com. As I've already discussed in segment number 3, the search for the solution to the nature-nurture problem, that is, which is more important, the environment or genes in determining our various characteristics, such as how good we are at public speaking, how well we dance, how good we are at academic work, how good we are at mathematics, how good we are at music, how good we are at social relations, and so on. Which factor is more important, and indeed do they affect each other in some way? Since every organism is built from a genetic basis, we now know, and that the genes of all organisms, from bacteria all the way to humans, share some similarities. Indeed, many of the genes are very similar, and they become increasingly similar as you look at your relationships among organisms. For instance, we are primates, along with the chimps and gorillas, orangutans, and so on, and they will be found to be, and they are found to be, genetically very, very similar to humans compared to, say, humans and whales, or humans and alligators. So exactly what we would predict from Darwin's theory of evolution holds true. And so the question now becomes which is more important and how do they relate to each other. I'm going to show you a chart that will bear bear upon this issue. And the chart is right here, and it shows, in this case, we're going to deal with the IQ correlations. If you look at identical twins have exactly the same genes. They derive from one egg from the mother, and the genetic content of every cell in the body of each twin is absolutely identical. So they start out with, you predict that there's going to be a 1.00, a perfect relationship, in this case, between the two twins on the basis of IQ. That is, if one has an average IQ of, an average reading, or average result of, let's say, 90, their IQ is 90, which is at the bottom of the normal range. You would expect that if one is 90, the other will be 90. And if one is 140, very bright, the other will be 140. And if they are in this is the same environment, you would expect perfection. You don't get perfection. There are enough slight differences in the way they interact with the environment so that you get 0.86, which tells you that genes are dominant in determining the IQ correlation. Genes are playing an enormous role compared to the environment. In different environments, however, it drops down to 0.78, which is still very high. That tells you the genes are playing a dominant role as well, but have less effect because the environments are different. So you have an environment playing a stronger, having a stronger effect because they are different in this case. Dizygotic twins, that is twins from two eggs, which basically have different genetic, overlapping. There's some similarity, but they're not, by no means identical. You expect 0.50. You get, in the case of the same environment, you get 0.60. So you get a very good result. And then if they are full siblings, that is, they are not born at the same time, but they are brother and sister, for instance, in the same family, from the same parents, you would expect 0.50 and you get 0.47. If they are in different environments, you get 0.24. So a brother and sister who are raised in entirely different environments have a very low IQ correlation. In other words, they are almost like, you might say, like strangers. The correlation is so low. As you continue down the chart, natural parents and their offspring in the same environment, you expect 0.50, you get 0.42. And a natural parent with the children raised elsewhere, you expect 0.50, but you don't get it. You get 0.24, which means the environment is having a pretty big effect. And finally, adopted SIBs in the same environment, you expect no correlation. You get 0.32, and adopted child with a parent that is not their own, you expect 0.00, you get 0.19, the lowest of all. So adopted children have a extremely low correlation because their genetics is very different, and they have been subjected to all kinds of environmental, probably in most cases, negative effects, and the correlation is really significantly low. So for IQ, you could, one of the lessons to be learned is that genes play an extremely powerful role, but not the complete role, even when they are absolutely the same in monozygotic twins, because you can't equalize the environment completely unless you trap them in a single room and lock the door. You would, and even then there would be slight differences in their experiences. So you can't get a perfect equalization no matter what you do. And therefore the modern view of geneticists is that genes are actively working all through your life, not all of them at all times, but according to their own schedule. Your roughly 30,000 genes are engaged in a variety of activities, building your body when you're young, and making sure that various types of cells are replenished while you're alive, and they have a limiting capacity on what you can be. They have a limiting capacity on how intelligent you can be. They have a limiting capacity on how fast you can run, on how well you swim, and so on. In the Olympics right now, we're looking at the very best athletes in the world who generally come from families that are athletically superior. How intelligent they are, for instance, is another question. Usually they are at least average or better. And the genes for athletic ability can be seen in the brilliant display in the Olympics going on right now, and in 2008. This genetic capacity clearly is a part of our heritage, and is affected greatly by the environment. That is, if you don't have proper nutrition, if you are deprived of the opportunity to do sports regularly, if you are deprived of the proper coaching, then the manifestation of those genes could be hampered considerably. So you can be sure that each country who wants to win in the Olympics is providing the environment by which the people with superior athletic genes are getting the best results. Thank you very much.